Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to fourth quarter. How's everything going, man? What is up? We are back again for another wonderful week. Let's talk about our favorite topic, sports, and what's going on in the sports world. Craig, what's going on, man?
Same old, man. Battling this cold now again. Like I don't know why, but it is what it is.
All right. So we got Mo joining us a little later. We gotta hop into it, man. I know you big on college football. You love watching college football, uh, at, at, and I've been completely honest about this. I haven't. I've started. I'll watch college playoff football, but during the season, I'll be strictly NFL. That's just me. That's just me. So, Craig, let's get right into it, man. Deion Sanders had a big win for Colorado, and I was watching the game live, and I was like, man, this is they looking good. They look real good, and they beat a ranked team. It's not the same team, but they are ranked. What were your thoughts on Deion Sanders' big win?
Um, Obviously, it's a big win for that program. They had one win last year, and Dion came in and pretty much cleared house with 86 new players. Um, so he came in right away and he established pretty much what he started kind of established in at Jackson State. It's pretty much his way. He's going to come in and change things up a little bit. And, you know, a lot of people had a problem with it for the most part, but at the end of the day, he delivered. So, um, like you mentioned, TCU is not the same team as it was last year. Um, they lost some of their key players, especially their quarterback, who got them to the national championship game. But the team still came back. They had some pieces there that were still left over, and got some new players as well. And they were like 16 or 17,
Mm-hmm.
and they were a 21-point favorite. So the fact that both teams didn't play well on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that's going to have to be rectified going through the rest of the season. But Colorado wasn't supposed to win no more than like two games, maybe 3 games at the most. So the fact that they went in and went on the road and beat a top 25 ranked team just shows how that that team has rallied around what Dion is preaching, with what he's saying, and they believe that they can win. It's pretty much them against the world. Like nobody believes in them for the most part, except for those guys in that locker room. And that's something you gotta love about Dion. He goes out there. He was a winner at Jackson State. So far he's 1-0. Got his team now in the top 25. I can't remember the last time Colorado was even in the top 25.
Right.
So, and his son went out and had 500 yards. He set the school record for passing yards, I believe. He had 4 guys on the team with over 100 yards in receiving. Like that's crazy. So, they definitely had to work on their defense. But at the same time, I mean, you can't knock what happened in that game and how they persevered and how they won that game. So, um, definitely big win for them. They got I don't know who they play this week. I can't remember. I forgot. But
Oh, it's in Nebraska.
okay, yeah, that's right, Nebraska, because they're playing Matt Rule, and their team couldn't even score last week. So
Mm.
um, it's gonna be a tough task for Nebraska to win this game. But hats off to Colorado. I thought it was gonna take a few years for them to be relevant. I guess. I mean, they're gonna be relevant because it's Deion Sanders, but like to be a top program now. This obviously the season just started, so it's still 11 more games left to go. But
Yeah.
it's a great start so far.
Man, I was like, okay, this is the real deal. His son is is the real deal, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and I knew he was because I watched, um, I followed them on um, Instagram, and they would post a lot of his highlights. Jackson State really didn't get a lot of TV time, so I don't think, being that it's a HBCU, I don't think people knew how good he was. They knew of Travis Hunter, of course, because Travis Hunter was the most touted corner in the country. But his son has to do something. You know, he has a chance to do something special. He's in the Heisman talks right now. I don't know if he's going to win it because, I mean, Caleb Williams looks crazy. Um, he looks Caleb Williams looks really good. I see why Arizona's tanking.
Yeah.
I see why. I don't get it. But you know, we'll see because it's gonna be up to grabs. I'm telling you, it's the number one pick is gonna be up to grabs. But either way, that's neither here nor there. Back to my point, I don't think Deion gets enough recognition as he's just a great leader in general, and um, he said he was bringing his Louis, and this is what Louis looks like. Um, I thought they could have went, you know, I thought they were going to win maybe 6 games, 4 or 5 games, but right now, I don't know. They might go to a quality bowl game. I'm looking at the schedule. I mean, the first real test they have is Oregon. They could go 3-0, lose to Oregon, lose to USC, beat Arizona State, beat Stanford. That's 1, 2, 3. I mean, hold on. That's 1, 2, 3 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins. They might lose to UCLA, so they'll be 5-3. Or they might beat UCLA, and they might beat Oregon. I mean, Oregon State. Then they have Arizona and Washington State. They might go 8-4. You know, I mean, that's highly possible. So, um, he turned it around quickly, uh, and he's a beast, man. Speaking of, and somebody said something today which might make sense. Shador, his son, because Travis Hunter's not going to be available to 2025. He's If Shador stay another year, they could both go, especially if the quarterback class is weak and he keeps these numbers, like he's in a Heisman run in both years, or he might even say he wins the Heisman next year, whatever, right? He's probably going to be a top 5 pick. He might be the first quarterback off the board, right? So speaking of Travis Hunter, let me ask this question. He played 184 snaps. He had a game-winning interception, and he also had 119 receiving yards. He could have had more. If he didn't drop that 50-yard bomb, he could have had more. So, do you think that they're going to keep this 2-way? You think they're going to keep playing them 2-ways throughout the season?
Probably so.
He's a baller.
At least until it's like it's not working anymore. I would assume like you can't just if it keeps going, it keeps working. Like
Yeah.
it's not the same as Shohei Ohtani, but you got a guy that can pitch and hit, which is kind of it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You got a guy that's playing both sides of the ball, which I mean I don't know the last time somebody's really played both sides of the ball in football for the most part. So it's cool to see, and it's a big time story, but is it really sustainable? It's gonna have to wait and see. We have to see what happens the rest of the season. Um, Obviously, if he's slacking on one side, I wouldn't even. I mean, I would try until it's get to the point where he's just not. He's getting beat either by wide receivers when he's playing corner, or he's not able to catch the ball, or he's not able to beat the DBs when he's playing wide receiver, something like that. But I think they see a lot in him. and they know he can play both sides. So until he proves them otherwise, I think this is probably going to continue. Now his snaps might not be the same.
Yeah.
But he might not be getting that many snaps each game. But I think it's very feasible that he can go out there and hold his own on both ends of the field.
It's crazy because they said Deion was like, I can't. That's what he says. He said Travis Hunter's like me. He don't want to sit.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, that is wild. I was like, he's phenomenal. He's excellent. I can't even there's nothing that I can say bad about what he did. And Deion said he could be a top pick. It's going to be interesting.
He was highly recruited coming out of high school, so the talent is there. It's just he went to I don't know how much he got paid, but he went to Jackson State to follow Deion Sanders, and now he's at Colorado. He's at a bigger school, more well-known school, but we'll see what happens in the next couple of years. But the talent is definitely there.
Yeah, so you gotta the crazy thing is that Deion, oh man, Travis Hunter is he's like that, man. I don't know how long you keep it up, but the question is this: if Shedeur, his son, is a top 5 pick, and that team needs a coach, you know what I'm saying? Because he's never. Now, Deion said he's never going to coach in the NFL because he said that he likes working with kids. He says he thinks he can impact a person more on a college level than an adult, which I understand. So this is going to be interesting, man. This is going to be very interesting, man. So great for college football. Mo, what are your thoughts about Colorado?
Say about who?
Colorado, man.
Man, what a win. The energy there, it's just it's a moment when the coach brings in, and I tell people like this: when you bring in talent and that talent believes in what's going on, it can do amazing things. And you bring in people who are, at the end of the day, they brought in talent. Like the kid Hunter, #1 recruit, was originally supposed to go to Florida State, he flipped. Both his sons can flat out play. The kid they had at running back, he could flat play. He was I think a 4 or 5-star recruit, one of the top recruits in the country. The dude that scored 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
and they have Jimmy Horn Jr. I think that's
So you look at what they have. I think they have to get better defensively. Absolutely. I just don't think, because if you gave up that to a TCU offense like that, then I understand TCU's been known for scoring, but if I just don't know USC, I don't think how they played Travis Hunter, I don't think that's going to hold up, especially in a more physical game or in a climate. If you're playing like a USC or Oregon, especially how they play fast paced, I don't think he's going to hold up playing 100 snaps like that against them. I understand it was first game of the season. You got that adrenaline flowing, but I just don't see him playing that many snaps against a USC or Oregon, or when you facing a physical Utah team that's coming at you hard. I just don't see him playing that many snaps. But it was something to see. It's something we haven't seen in a while. A dude go 2 ways like that and play at that kind of level. We haven't seen that probably since Deion almost. So even when we saw it from the dude came out of Michigan, he wasn't going hard like that. He was good on defense, but he really he wasn't electric on offense like that. Jabril Peppers. He wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. Mo, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's I think it's a big win. I'm excited to see what he does. I'm excited to see how now the momentum goes. I hope they don't smell themselves because they should be favored and beat Nebraska this week to start off 2-0. But if I'm not mistaken, I think their third game will be the Oregon to USC. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see, how they stack up and how they show up against those big time, the big time within their conference.
Well, okay. I asked this to Craig. Okay, I brought up the schedule. Who do you have them losing to? Because I think they have Nebraska. I think that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
I think they beat Colorado State too.
Is that before they play Oregon or USC?
Yeah, that's before they play Oregon. I think they lose to Oregon.
Yeah, I
think they lose to USC.
Right.
But I think
they beat Utah. I think they can beat Utah. I think they can get Utah.
Yeah, I think they go 9 to 8 wins. It's not out the. It's very good.
That wasn't a game, and that wasn't a game ain't gonna be easy. That Oregon State game will be easy. Oregon State's a good football team.
No, Oregon State's a good football team, but they can beat Arizona State. They can beat Stanford. They might give UCLA some go.
Yeah.
Then they got Arizona, Washington State. They got Utah. This is bomb. Oh man, and shout out to the quarterbacks because the crazy thing is the Pac-12 quarterbacks are crazy right now.
They got at least
It's crazy.
I say they got at least 3 to 4 that I think definitely are day or first, second round talents.
Listen.
Like they got at least 4. There might be more, but at least 4 off my head that I say can play that could be definitely for them.
I was listening to Colin Cowherd. He said that he texts two NFL execs, and they said that Shedeur Sanders looks like a first-round quarterback. That's what they said.
And what he only a true? What he is he a junior, sophomore?
Yeah,
junior.
I think what's going to happen is, which this makes total sense.
Right.
If I'm him, because Travis Hunter can't get drafted in 2025.
Right. I stay 2 years. Yeah.
If he stays, they should be eligible for the 2025 draft
together, right?
Which is together. I mean, you got to think that he'll probably be a top 10 pick. Shedeur will probably be a top 10 pick.
Right.
He might be the first. If he puts together 2 seasons and wins a Heisman one, he's going to be a top 5 quarterback. But if it might make sense to stay with Travis Hunter, and because Caleb Williams is going to be number 1. He's not going before Caleb Williams or Drake May or Bo Nix.
Right.
He's just not. You know? And that kid out of Washington, he's looking good too.
Even the dude from Notre Dame that transferred from Wake Forest is starting to put his name in.
The quarterback play is tough, man.